can't believe it. I honestly cannot believe this is happening to us. I cannot believe this is happening to us. What an unbelievable situation we have. The CBS sports theme, look at it, says on the screen, CBS SEC, and here we are. This is interesting to see. Your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, gambling. I don't know what to do with the entrance there, but the idea is that you just saw Alabama cheerleaders dancing and Arkansas coming back after the second half, down 17-3. CBS sports theme is going to the Big Ten, and I got to be honest with you. At this point, I'm ready to impeach Joe Biden. I mean, Jesus. Is nothing sacred? No, I mean, it's not that big a deal. I will say that there have been a handful of people who have argued with me that the reason the SEC appears good is because CBS is so good. So maybe now Iowa and Indiana will start getting the credit that Ole Miss and Auburn get, right? Because it's just CBS. CBS is the reason that Auburn is ranked so high and that Iowa never is, right? That's the big breaking news. Today's your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, gambling. Today's going to be a bit of a bummer. We'll talk about some gambling stuff, and I got a notification from the Wall Street Journal. Their sports reporting really is amazing. I wish that there was a way to subscribe to various sports outlets. Maybe I should invent an app. Like you just subscribe and you get like parts of The Athletic, parts of the Wall Street Journal, parts of the New York Times, parts of like good reporting that just kind of dabbles in sports. That would be, I wonder how much people would pay for that. Because you don't want the Journal. Anyway, regardless, they sent me a notification this morning. Manchester United has become a joke. But how long will the joke last? Hopefully an entire year. God, this is incredible. But let's start with some news. Big bummers. Shouts to all of you out there trying to have a good day on a Friday, but we got to talk about it. Sometimes I don't want to talk about this kind of shit, but I have to. So Deshaun Watson, the suspension came down. People are mad. We'll talk about that in a second. But first is rest in peace. Tragic situation happened yesterday to University of Central Florida. I believe tight end or H-back or something. Luke Knox, I guess he's playing linebacker now. Luke Knox was an Ole Miss linebacker and now was a Central Florida linebacker. He died at the age of 22. They did not list of cause of death, which in the journalistic community means one of three things. Either A, it's just completely unknown and it's like a random, really shitty medical situation, like sometimes people have ticking time bomb aneurysms and heart issues where they can just drop dead. The other two things that it can be, and usually when you read between the lines, is that this is substance related or suicide related, which I have argued with other journalists aggressively. I think that the medical journalists and medical people are starting to agree with me, but that not mentioning the cause of death like that, because it used to save embarrassment for the family, which is a very 1950s way to think. All it does is shield mental health issues and kind of stigmatize mental health issues in the country. Either way, there is no cause of death listed, which means that as a journalist, it is one of those three things. It wasn't a car accident. It wasn't an accident. It was a completion of suicide, which is the appropriate way to say that, by the way. One does not commit suicide. One completes suicide. Drugs, alcohol, or it was a really shitty hand genetically, and he died from something like a heart attack or something. Luke Knox is really important because obviously this is a tragedy. His brother Dawson Knox is an Ole Miss tight end and is a sort of superstar tight end for the Buffalo Bills. Incredibly talented kid. I don't know. I don't have any reporting on Dawson. I imagine he's going to take some time away from the team to deal with this. A 22-year-old is a bad situation. So that's what we're going to lead with today. Trending on Twitter yesterday. Then it was his day on Twitter. Then the Deshaun Watson news came down. Deshaun Watson's suspension has been finalized. It's 11 games. He has to pay a $5 million fine, which is astounding. And people are upset about the length of the suspension. I do think it should be a year, but $5 million is an enormous fine. I don't know that there's ever been one that big. I'm sure that other people can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that fines that big are usually reserved for like teams, which is crazy. He's not going to pay any of that, obviously. The team will pay it for him, I'm sure. If you're wondering, 11 games, it's been pointed out on Twitter because the 12th game of his season is against the Texans, and that is when flexible scheduling starts. That means that whatever games on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football are in the main window can now become the Texans and Browns, which is a punishment in and of itself. That means that they're not going to be able to move on. His first game back after all of this will be playing his former team, which means, and he's going to go there. I think it's at Is it? I mean, I gotta say that for sure. Houston, Texas. If it's in Houston, holy shit! What a nightmare for him. It is December 4th in Houston. Deshaun Watson will make his return. They almost can't play him. God, I've never genuinely rooted for a player to get injured, but man, I am definitely pulling for just a debilitating injury. This guy is a sexual predator and a genuine piece of shit. So, but he'll be back. 11 games. That's what they landed on. He negotiated, and then yesterday just went around. He always proclaimed his innocence, and now he had some sort of fake apology last week as a way to say like, oh, whatever, and then now he's like, yeah, I'm proclaiming my innocence and I'm ready to move on. Here he is with the owners.
NFL. I think it's important to remember Deshaun is 26 years old.
You can't hear that. What they said was, it's important to remember that Deshaun is a hell of an NFL quarterback. Yep. No, we know. Well, he was. Man, it would be better than him getting injured would be what if he sucked. God, that'd be fucking incredible. D. Haslam, the owner, quote, we have tremendous empathy for the women involved, and we have an opportunity now to make a difference in this community. We're going to invest $1 million towards educating youth for awareness of sexual misconduct. Deshaun Watson, as part of the ruling, is expected to comply with treatment and a bunch of other shit. He's not going to do that. Why would he do that? He's not going to. What are they going to do? They're not going to do anything. So it's 11 games, $5 million fine. That is an enormous fine. Crazy. Like, you can't fine the majority of players that because it's like just too big of a percentage of their salary. That is an insane fine. So I don't know. I am excited. Where are they going? Where will he be playing this year? Let's see who's gonna fuck him up the most. All right, so Texans. Then they've got the Bengals. That'll be nasty. And then I guess the ugliest game is they end their season in Pittsburgh, which that's the pot calling the kettle black. I mean, I don't know. Ben Roethlisberger is not a serial predatorial sexual predator, but absolutely a sexual predator. That's confirmed. That he's known and agreed upon. So that's just what a world we live in, huh? What a world. This is fun. I am the most mad about the CVS theme. I'm not mad about it. It is funny. Let's do some gambling. So overs on the first weekend of professional football went 13-3. 13-3. I told you bent the under, so might be. This weekend, everyone's going to continue to ride that wave or no? What's interesting is that it used to be in the preseason. There were 4 games, and everybody understood what was happening. Maybe the starters get a rep or 2 or a series in the first preseason game, and then it ramps up a little in the second or whatever, and then the third is like a dress rehearsal. Starters will play a quarter or a half or something. Now with 3, nobody knows what the hell to do. So some teams are just not playing any starters at all the entire time, Sean McVay. Other teams are kind of figuring it out. Like I know the Lions played their starters in preseason game 1, but now they are doing joint practices with the Colts, and as a result of the joint practice, which is more effective for evaluation than preseason, huge portions of starters are not going to play at all. They're not going to play at all. So then everyone's like, is this going to be the dress rehearsal? And everyone's like, I don't fucking know, because the joint practice is more effective. So nobody knows. The second preseason game, this is what I would say is pick out the 4 or 5 teams that you know and like the most and figure out what they are doing and which of their starters are going to play. The most important position for betting on the preseason of who's going to play by far is offensive line. Because if the starters for the offensive line are going to play a series, if the coach wants to see the starting offensive line with the backup quarterback, bet on that team. That's my advice. I have no data, but I have watched a lot more preseason football than people should reasonably watch, which is a tragic commentary on the state of entertainment in these United States of America. If you want to know some lines, we'll go through some lines. We'll do this together. I'm doing it blind. Should I just share my screen with you people? Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't I? Wait, can I just zoom in? Yeah, that's not too bad. Look at that. If you can watch this on YouTube, like, rate, review, subscribe, etc., etc. Patriots are favored by 3. Belichick famously doesn't give a shit about player safety. However, he's kind of changed his tune on basically everything recently. You know what I mean? Like, Patriots are favored by 3. It's in New England. But the Panthers have the Darnold Mayfield thing going on. And Mayfield has all but locked that spot up. So I'm actually thinking that beating the spread, Panthers are like that. Saints and Packers, no idea. See, like this is the kind of thing, no idea. Absolutely no idea. Yeah, I'm staying away from that game. Texans, Rams, definitely bet on the Texans. Rams aren't playing anybody. Never. They never play anybody. I can't believe. Well, the Texans are favored by 2, so take that back. Not betting on them. Lions are favored by 3 over the Colts. Take the Colts. Colts is the underdog. So I like Panthers, underdogs, Colts, underdogs. Bills are favored by 6 over the Broncos in a preseason game in the year of our Lord. What? The Chiefs are favored by 5. What is happening? That is quite the ballsy line. And look at Vegas figured it out. They put all of the overs back to 40. Look at their over-unders in the 40s. These are like real NFL over-unders. Holy shit. The Cardinals, okay, found it. Found the one I want. Cardinals are 5.5-point underdogs with an over-under of 38.5. So they think that, so Vegas is saying that Harbaugh wants to win so badly. What am I doing here? Look at all this shit that's up on my screen. What's happening? Oh my God. Okay. Just had a nightmare on my screen of what's being pulled up for you people to watch. So the Cardinals, Vegas is saying that the Ravens want to win so badly that they're going to beat the Cardinals in the neighborhood of, oh my God, I forgot. I am so out of shape of this game. Holy crap. 38 divided by 2 is 19. 19 splits 5.5. So they're saying what? A 20 to 15, 22 to 16. I don't more. Just 2 touchdowns. The Ravens. I like the Cardinals to upset the Ravens and the over. The streak's going to come to an end. Cliff Kingsbury seems like he would care about that. Yeah, you know what? This is weird. Don't bet the preseason. Don't do that. But do daily fantasy. I love daily fantasy in the preseason. Backup quarterbacks are how you win daily fantasy. And most of the players have the exact same cost. They have the same cost in the preseason. It's just like the same amount of money. We can do a daily fantasy preview. We will do that closer to the season when I can explain it to people who don't know how to play, and I'll just tell you where to go find information. We are going to end the show on this particular piece of information. I'm going to read a statement for you. Australian rugby player Corey Norman has been given an 8-game suspension and fined $600. Why? For intentionally placing a hand into the buttocks of an opposing player. What? Oh, you heard that correct. This guy shoved his finger in someone's ass. Look at, watch, here it is. Watch. Just grabs him by the taint and fingers his butt. And has been suspended. Yeah, if you did that at your workplace, you'd maybe, hopefully, be arrested, I guess. Oh, see you later, bud. I would say don't do that. Just a guess. I'll be back in Better Than Ever on Monday. We're only a couple weeks out. We got to do a college football preview. Maybe we'll do that next week. Sounds like a good time to do that. Yeah, next week. College football preview. Find me on YouTube. You know where to find me. You know what to do.